I'm Darren Marlar, and this is your daily dose of weird news. In Thailand, a woman organized a funeral for a lizard that she believed was possessed by her deceased 12-year-old son's spirit. Mourners gathered at the woman's home for the farewell to the lizard. The woman told the newspaper, "I'm so sad, it's like losing my son a second time." The reptile had been adopted by the family, fed milk and yogurt, the son's favorite food. It also slept in the dead boy's bed. Oh, yeah, that's not creepy at all. Yeah, let the lizard people conspiracies begin! A study finds that members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church live longer than members of other religions in the U.S., and weirdly, they live an average of 7 days longer. The American Gaming Association estimates that 40 million Americans will fill out more than 70 million brackets and bet approximately $9 billion on the NCAA Tournament. That's around double what was bet on the Super Bowl in the U.S. And once again, this year I'm betting big on Texas State Teachers College to get to the Final Four, because it's gotta pay off for me someday. After a half-dozen pharmacy burglaries this year, police in California decided enough was enough. The related burglaries had cough syrup in common. Each pharmacy saw its stock go missing. So cops put a small GPS device in a bottle of the liquid medicine and then waited. Sure enough, the pharmacy was hit and cops tracked the GPS device to the location of 2 suspects. Even worse, they didn't even have scratchy throats. Now that's just wrong. A restaurant customer at an eatery in Australia is accused of intentionally putting a hair in her food and then using that as an excuse not to pay. The woman also allegedly attempted to blackmail the restaurant by threatening a bad review on TripAdvisor. However, a waiter noticed the hair didn't match that of any of the employees. He said, "We all have short, dark, trimmed hair, and this was a strand of dirty, blonde, curly hair." The woman followed through on her promise and wrote a bad review on TripAdvisor. I can imagine what she wrote there in the review, too. "The security at that place is so lax that you can put all the hairs you want right on top of the food. Disgusting!" In Rhode Island, a guy did a Facebook Live broadcast as he drove at high speed. Police say he reached a speed of 115 miles per hour as he weaved in and out of traffic. It did not end well. He crashed into a garbage truck at around 90 miles per hour. He lived, but it took firefighters some time to get the 20-year-old out of his Honda. Okay, we really need to stop making those Fast and Furious movies. Just because your state is an open carry state, it doesn't quite mean anything goes. Michigan is such a state, and thus, as an adult not otherwise disqualified under state law, you may pack heat in public, except in a few designated areas. Still, folks, you gotta use a little common sense here, and that seemed to be in short supply for 2 overly zealous Second Amendment fans, 24-year-old James Baker and 40-year-old Brandon Vreeland. These geniuses were under the impression that the open carry law gave them the right to march into the Dearborn police station with Baker in full body armor and ski mask carrying a semi-automatic pistol and a sawed-off rifle, while Vreeland photographed the officers' reactions. Do I even need to tell you that yes, both were immediately arrested? Recently hired police officer Jose Acosta is off the force. Seems he had a bad habit of pulling people over and asking them for their license, registration, and all the money they had. Acosta was arrested Friday and now faces charges of armed burglary and armed grand theft. He was on the force for less than a year, and allegedly he would pull over drivers and scare them before seizing their belongings. He was caught in a sting operation and is currently relieved of duty without pay. Thank you, ex-Officer Acosta, for making it even more difficult for the boys in blue to protect us with a modicum of trust. A man passed out on a Southwest Airlines flight, but there happened to be around 20 doctors aboard to help him out. He was first treated by a doctor in seat 7A, then he was referred to a specialist in seat 16B. If there's anything that could leave a person feeling down in the dumps, It's a giant venomous snake living in your toilet. Residents of an apartment complex in Pretoria, South Africa have been hysterical after finding an 8-foot snouted cobra living in their toilet. The commode cobra could have gotten in through the plumbing system, but residents were more concerned with getting it out. So far, professional snake catchers have had no luck, and they still have no idea where the snake is hiding. Residents are reportedly considering eradication methods like pouring acid or hot water down the pipes. And how can you not already have tried pouring hot water down the pipes? That would have been my first thing. And then I do Drano after that, followed up by antifreeze and my mother-in-law's meatloaf. That snake is dead! If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And click that little bell next to the subscribe button to be notified when I post new videos. This episode is made possible in part by my Patreon supporters. For DailyDoseOfWeirdNews.com, I'm Darren Marlar.